What is up everybody, it's your boy Cameron Bash here and welcome back to the Movement channel, where today we've got yet another WWE 2K22 news drop coming your way as we're checking out a brand new interview that has just been conducted with the developers that reveals information related to the creation suite, gameplay options, game modes, and more. Now, this interview was conducted by the man himself, Brian Mazik, the same person who already conducted an interview with the developers a few weeks ago, and this time, it's a written interview posted to Forbes.com. The interview consisted of 9 questions in total, and maybe one of our most insightful looks into WWE 2K22 yet. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump straight into this, because there's a lot to break down here. Instead of going through this in the order the questions were asked, we'll go through them in the order they related to certain areas of the game, and we'll kick things off with what I'm sure most people are here for, and that's the creation suite. The first question that Brian Mazik asked the 2K dev team was, can you define persona as it is used in association with the creation suite? To which the dev team replied, personas are themes players can apply to their custom superstar. They are broken down into a series of categories such as wrestling, streetwear, sports, cosplay, and others, with each category having multiple selections. Players can use these personas as a starting point for their ideal custom superstar, or just pick one they like and jump right into the game. Of course, we include the option for no persona, allowing the player to begin with a blank slate. While looking through subcategories of attire parts, players can filter these parts based on their selected persona to see other parts that fit the style of their selected persona. Players can choose to switch persona filters at any time. It's nice to finally get some clarification on what this part of the game meant, as it's been a bit of a mystery up until now. However, now that we have had an explanation as to what this means, it does sound like the type of thing that's mostly going to be used by beginner players looking to jump into things really easily, rather than it being something that'll affect more regular players of the series. The next question asked to the devs was, how many different body types are available in the creation suite? To which the devs replied, we have 75 body templates in the creation suite, 39 male and 36 female. These body types span a wide range of size, shape, and musculature, including body types much heavier than previously seen in the creation suite. We've also included more average bodies for players that want to create someone that does not match the typical body types found among WWE superstars. Each body can have its height and weight adjusted, allowing for them to fall under multiple WWE weight classifications. So, this information here is pretty important because it was confirmed in a previous interview that the body sliders would be removed in WWE 2K22, and with the body sliders out, that means male superstars will be limited to a grand total of 39 different body types, whereas the females will get 36. Now on the surface level, this does seem like a healthy supply of different body types, so they should have something for everyone here, but are we going to run into a situation where perhaps there's only one ideal large body, or one better looking skinny model? And if that's the case, will we have the same few body types scattered across everyone's custom superstars? Only time will tell. But the fact remains that this is a limitation compared to the previous WWE games, and we're just going to have to wait and see if this limitation affects us negatively in the long run. The next question asked to the devs was, will the Randomizer feature offer weights that match the frame of the wrestler? In the past, there were wrestlers who were listed as like 500 pounds, but they were thin. To which the devs replied, each body template has a custom curated minimum and maximum weight, the range of which can be adjusted by raising or lowering the height. This allows each body template to fall within multiple weight classes, either by player adjustment or by randomizing, but you shouldn't see the types of extremes that you have seen in the past. For example, our thinnest male body type has a maximum weight of 258 pounds. Even if you make them as tall as the game allows, they will never be a super heavyweight. On the opposite end of the scale, our heaviest looking body type has a minimum weight of 322 pounds, and is still a super heavyweight even at its shortest possible height. So while we personally don't care too much about the randomizer feature, this question did actually lead to some very insightful information when it comes to the body types in 2K22. Now, no longer can you make a 7'2" fat giant but have him be 100 pounds, because whatever size you make your character, the game is going to limit you into a certain weight class to make it more realistic when you play matches. Now I can understand why they have gone in this direction for the sake of realism when it comes to matches, but to be honest with you, this is yet another limitation that we're again not too big of a fan of. One of the things we as the movement like to do when making our custom matches is edit the weight class of our superstars to unlock different animations while in the match. There are loads of reversal animations, for example, that are either exclusive to cruiserweights or super heavyweight superstars. It's nice to get those into the match sometimes, but with this new approach 2K has taken, that's something that we're never going to be able to do anymore, and it's pretty sad to hear. Okay, so prepare yourself for this next question, because I know a lot of you are probably not going to be happy with the answer to it. When asked, how many core slots will the game have? The devs replied with we have 100 superstar creator slots available. Now, I know a lot of people were hoping that this game would have more than 100 this time around, especially with the inclusion of cross-platform community creations. But unfortunately, the limit is staying at 100, and we're going to have to deal with that. Then our final question related to Creation Suite was, have you changed the search options for the Creation Suite? To which the devs answered, in depth, we've added a number of new options for searching for attire in the Superstar Creator Suite, including the ability to tag favorites and filter parts by persona. You can also set custom color themes for your attire via the parts color feature, allowing you to easily give your custom superstars attire a consistent color theme. We've also reviewed and updated the UI flow in a number of Creation Suite modes, including Arena, Entrance, and Video, to make it easier to use those features and find what you are looking for. In addition, players who create a custom superstar can now choose to upload their creation directly to community creations, rather than having to jump into the online suite to do so. We've made sorting through community creations easier with a new landing page to more easily narrow down specific content types that you're looking for. We've also added upvoting and the ability to sort by the amount of upvotes content has received to make it easier to find the top voted content. So all in all, a lot of quality of life improvements here. Being able to go from the creation mode straight into the community creations to both download logos for your creations, as well as upload your content, is particularly nice to see, so we're very happy 2K have got some of these things in, ready for the launch of the series' first ever cross-platform community creations. Moving on from that, Brian asked a single question related to MyGM and Universe mode, which was, how many years are playable in MyGM and Universe? To which the devs answered, in MyGM, there are 3 duration settings, 15, 25, and 50 weeks. In Universe, there is no limit. You could run a universe for 1,000 years if you felt so inclined. Now, this is information that we already knew about, but a lot of people seem to be pretty shocked by the news that MyGM could only go up to 50 weeks, so really weren't sure if they could believe the news without a double confirmation. Well, here it is, the double confirmation that many of you were looking for. MyGM can officially only go up to 50 weeks, and of course, Universe mode will remain unlimited as usual. And from that question, we have a few questions related to the gameplay. The first being, is blood still an option in matches, including women's matches? To which the devs responded, blood is still an option in the game, although it is turned off by default. Blood historically has not been supported for women superstars, and that did not change in WWE 2K22. It's definitely a shame to hear this, because of course, WWE women superstars do bleed in real life, just like the men. So there's really no reason it shouldn't be in the game, but you know how WWE are with these types of things, so we really can't put too much of the blame on 2K for this decision. Next, Brian asked, has physics with chairs and tables been improved? If so, how? And the devs respond with, the physics systems have been completely overhauled for WWE 2K22. Weapons, such as tables, steel chairs, kendo sticks, and stop signs, will now show obvious damage states the more that they are used. Tables have seen a significant number of improvements. First and foremost, we have a more reliable way of predicting when and how someone collides with the table to help us better determine when a table will break versus collapsing. As for breaking tables, those are now completely dynamic instead of being animation driven. Players will never see a table break the same way twice. Now, we've seen a little bit of this in action across the different WWE 2K22 trailers so far, but to get this detailed confirmation that it will work in this dynamic way is very nice to hear, and by the sounds of it, it's going to work better than any of us previously imagined based on this explanation. Tables collapsing when you didn't want them to was also such a huge issue in previous WWE 2K titles, so we're very happy to hear that this has been specifically addressed. We then come to the final question of the interview, where Brian asked, are there any new props or new interactions with props, such as leaping off the titantron or moves through unfolded chairs? To which the devs replied, there aren't many new direct prop interactions to speak of in the game, but there has been a bigger focus on verticality in the new backstage area. We've created a new mantling system that allows players to seamlessly climb and dismount from surfaces at various heights. As in the past, we will support being able to throw players off ledges and follow these up with big dives. So long story short on that one, not a lot of innovation as far as the ring area goes, but there seems to be a lot of updates when it comes to how you can move in the backstage area. It almost sounds similar to that of the old SmackDown games on the PS2, which fingers crossed, it is, because the level of freedom you had back in those games was so nice, so it'd be fantastic to see some of that coming back into 2K22. And with those guys, that brings us to the end of this interview and the end of this video. Obviously quite a lot of information to break down and dissect here, so feel free to go back through the video if you wanted to re-listen to any of these questions, which we have timestamped in the video description for you, along with the full interview that Brian did over on Forbes.com. So guys, what was your favourite and least favourite pieces of information that was revealed here today? Be sure to let us know in the comment section down below, and while you're down there, don't forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe for more WWE 2K22 content. Thanks very much for watching this video guys, and we'll see you soon for another one.